let's have a look at the table of contents web part that you can add to your SharePoint pages to, well, get a table of contents, and that is provided by WikiPakk. I prepared a page with several headings here. I'm clicking edit to go into edit mode, and let's quickly scroll through the page to see what we have here. So we have one section, it has one column, different heading levels in this text web part. So it uses the maximum of 4 levels that SharePoint provides. There are not more levels, at least in the text web part, available. So we have one heading 1, heading level 2, heading level 3, and heading level 4. Then in the next section, we have a 2-column layout. And on the left side, there's heading 1. And on the right side, we have 3 actually heading 2 headings. And this is a common layout when presenting some main information on the left side, and the right side goes into some details. And we will see how that affects a table of contents in a minute. Then we have a collapsible section. This is collapsed by default. When expanding this, we have a text web part and child heading 1 and 2 inside this collapsible section. And then we have another section, and this one is a flexible section, so we can move the web parts around here. SharePoint provides a grid that we can put the web parts on. This is a fairly new addition to SharePoint. Can be used to configure more flexible layouts than just 1, 2, or 3 columns. And in this flexible section, we have a Markdown web part, and inside this Markdown web part, you, in the edit mode on the left side, write your Markdown and use Markdown to specify headings. And in this case, it's 5 levels. So there are more levels in the Markdown web part available than in the text web part. And right of this Markdown web part, we have 2 text web parts here that are just floating around on this flexible section. And that's it. And now let's see how you can add a table of contents web part. And this is fairly easy. And you go choose the plus sign to add web parts, and then you see the icons of WikiPakk here. So the children display, page tree editor, but you want table of contents. Just click that, and the web part is added. So I'm going to republish the page and look at what we get here. So of course we have heading 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you can click each heading, and then you jump to the heading. It is the same result as when you would click on this link symbol here. And when you look at the address bar, you see SharePoint is adding a snippet here that tells the page where to jump to. Then we have heading 1, and we have heading 2.1 to 2.3 here. And by default, those are listed at the same level because a nesting normally is counted per web part. And this heading 1 web part is in the left text web part. And on the right, we have another text web part. And those 3 levels here are, top level with regard to the web part. But we can change that, and we will also look at that later when looking at the settings. Now our collapsible section heading here is also available. The heading of the section can be clicked, and the children are also visible here, and you also can jump to the children. Now the Markdown web part is a little bit special. This sometimes takes a reload of the page because SharePoint under the hood does some magic to lazy load web parts. So only when you scroll, then things are loaded. So let's just give it a quick reload, and then you also see the Markdown headings here, and this view is cached by the table of contents web part. So the next time you open the page, you don't have to reload that. So you can also jump to the Markdown headings down here. And then you also have the headings from the flexible section here on the right side. Now what is there to configure? Let's quickly go through the options. You edit the page, click the table of contents by parts, choose edit properties here, and then a panel slides out from the right. And let's just go from top to bottom through the different options. The first one is the depth that is being displayed, so you can just tell it to maybe show the first 2 or 3 levels. Then there's this indent across columns option, and when you choose this, look at the left side, you see the headings jump, and this indent across columns tells the table of contents to basically connect those. So although those are 2 different text web parts, they have a visual hierarchy. So on the left side in this text web part, you have heading level 1, and on the right side visually those belong to the left side. Those are the next indentation level, and this is exactly what this indent across columns setting is for. Then keep visible while scrolling. We'll check that in a moment. Show a title. Well, by default, it's showing the on this page title. You can toggle that off, or just give it of WikiPakk Table of Contents. Give it a different title. Then there are different options to hide content. So sometimes you have the situation, for example, when let's just insert table of contents here, and you want only headings that are below this web part. Then you go to the settings and you can choose hide headings above the table of contents. And you see when I toggle this, the heading 1 to 4 from the text web part that sits above the table of contents web part, those are being removed. And sometimes you have a first section on the page. So on our page, this setting hide headings in the first section does nothing, because the first section is actually this one here with the title web part, and this does not count as normal heading, so it does nothing here. But there are certain page templates that Microsoft uses where this hide headings in the first section setting comes in handy. So it's this you can use when you use the table of contents web part further down the page. Okay, so let's quickly remove this one here, go back to the top, go back to settings, and then we have the bullet style. So you can just give it a circle or a square, or you can have it a mixed symbol here, depending on the level. So I keep it at none. And the font size, if you want to make it smaller, that is possible, but you can also make it a little bit larger. So let's put that back to inherit. And now sometimes you want to always show the table of contents. So currently when scrolling, it will disappear with the scrolled content, but you can pin it. So, and this is a setting, keep visible while scrolling. And when you check that, then and saving, you will see that it sticks at the top, at least in this section where it was positioned. And then it also slides out. That doesn't make much sense in this configuration. It's mainly used with a vertical section. So let's add a vertical section to this page, vertical one, and then add a table of contents, the part here. And for this one, choose keep visible while scrolling. The other one, we don't want that. Save the page. And now on the right side, you have your sticky table of contents that is always available to jump around the page. And this is pretty handy. And this is the table of contents web part that is part of WikiPakk.